In FreeCAD, there are several ways to draw a 3D model. It always depends on the complexity of the model's geometry and FreeCAD's manipulation skills. For this model on the screen, for example, there are also several ways to draw the model within FreeCAD depending on your level of FreeCAD manipulation. Let's first see how to design the 3D model using the main 3D modeling workbench, the PartDesign workbench. Open your FreeCAD program. On its start page, create a new document by pressing by default. As you see, we're in the PartDesign workbench by default, and these are the tools of PartDesign workbench. In PartDesign workbench, to design a 3D model, we need first to create a body object. To create a body object, we click on this icon here. Just click on this icon. This is the body object. And the next step for our 3D model is to create a geometry for this face here. Just click on this icon here, create sketch icon, and next select the plane, axis plane, the front plane. And now we are on the Sketcher workbench. As you can see, here we have the tools of Sketcher workbench. We have here the Sketcher geometries, and starting from here we have the Sketcher constraints tools. And next we have the fillet and the trim tool, the external geometry tool. Okay, let's start by using a polyline tool to create the geometry. Go to Sketcher Geometry and select polyline tool, and next start creating these lines as you see here. Create a horizontal line and next a vertical line in this way, and next horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and next create this line, and next create a horizontal line. Now this line here, horizontal, and this line horizontal again, and now this line here, horizontal, this line horizontal, and next just create this, and now create horizontal, vertical line, and horizontal, and next vertical line. Okay, this symbol here, for example, it means this line here is a vertical line, and this one here means that this line is our horizontal line. Select equal constraint and make this line here equal to this line, and we have 25 degrees of freedom. Next, select this line here and this line, and we have 24 degrees of freedom. Now this line here and this line, and now this line here and this one here and this line. Now this and this, and next this line here and this, and now this line and this line here. Next this line here and this line. Now skip this tool and let's drag this point, and as you can see we have this. Okay, next let's apply parallel constraint for this line here and this one here, and the same thing on this side here. Select parallel constraint, this tool here, select these two lines here, and now we have this constraint. Do the same here for these two lines, and we have this. Go to Sketcher Constraints, click on this icon and select Constraint Vertical. Select this point and this point here. Let's also do the same here, these 2 points. Next, let's use Constraint Symmetric to constrain this point and this point here in this vertical axis. Select Constraint Symmetric, and next select this point here, this point, and this vertical axis. 12 degrees of freedom. Now next let's use the constraint horizontal and constrain this point and this point. Next this point and this point here. 11 degrees of freedom. Now next I think we can start setting the dimensions of this geometry. So let's first hide these constraints here by pressing on this icon. Let's go to this 3D model. As you can see here, we have a length of 58 millimeters, 20 millimeters, 40 degrees. For these two lines here, we have this height, these two heights dimensions here. So, okay, to set the dimensions of this geometry, we have to use the dimension tool. If we click on this icon here, we can see the various constraints that we have to set the dimensions of the geometry. Let's select this first option here. Okay, let's start setting the dimensions. Let's start by the radius of the hole, this hole here. As you can see here, we have a diameter of 20 for this hole. So for this geometry, it means that we need to set the half of 20. Just click on this line here and next click on the horizontal axis and set a length of 10 millimeters and enter. Next, as we can see, we have a distance of 16 millimeters from this edge to the center of this hole. So what you do, we'll click on the horizontal axis and next we click on this line here and we set 16 millimeters here and enter and we have this. Next here we can see a length of 34 millimeters from this edge to this edge here. So it's this line here. Click on this line here and set the length 34 millimeters. Okay, and we have this 8 degrees of freedom now. Next, let's set the distance from this point to this point here. Let's create a vertical distance. As you can see here, we have 26 millimeters. So set 26. Okay, and now just skip this tool here and drag this, just zoom in and drag this point like this, and now we can set a dimension which is 20 millimeters. Select the dimension tool and now just click on this point and next on this point here and create a vertical distance of 20 millimeters, and we have this. Now we have 6 degrees of freedom. Okay, now let's set the horizontal distance. So for example, for this line here we have a length of 58 millimeters. Okay, and here we have this, and from this point here to this point we have a length of 39 millimeters, as we can see here. So set a dimension and we have this. Okay, next let's set a dimension. Let's set a distance from this line to this line here. We have a length of 18 millimeters, as we can see. Set 18 millimeters here, and now 3 degrees of freedom. Choose on in here. Let's set the angle between these two lines. Click here and click here on this line and set the correct angle, which is 4 degrees. 2 degrees of freedom now. Okay, next here let's set the length of this line here. As you can see here, we have this all dimensions here. We have 58, 20 millimeters and 20 millimeters for these grooves here. So what you can do here is to apply a formula to get the size of this line here. So let's set the formula. And we get 6 millimeters. Okay, now what we can do is to set this line here equal to this line to full constrain this sketch. Select constraint equal and now this line and this line, and we have this. And now to lift this sketch we have 3 possibilities. We have this icon here, we have this button close, or we can press ESC 2 times to lift this sketch. ESC 2 times, press home on your keyboard. And next, to create the salt, we can use the Revolve tool. Just go to PartDesign tools and look for Revolve tool. This tool here, Revolution. Just click on this icon and as you can see we have nothing here. This happens because the rotation axis of the operation is not correct. For example, this model here, as you can see, the rotation center is the x-axis. So what you need to do is to change the parameter axis in the task panel of this operation. Go to this task panel, look for axis, just click here and we see these all options here. We select base x-axis and here we have this. Okay, and now we press OK. And we have the final 3D model. And if we want the model to look like this model here, this pocket, I can say, what you have to do is to change the angle. Go to the model tip, double click on this operation, and next here we find the angle. Just change this to 270 degrees, and we have this. As you can see, we have this in the wrong side. To fix this, we check this option, reverse it, and we have this now. Okay, press OK, and this is the model. So as you can see, in the PartDesign workbench, we created the result just using one operation, this revolution operation. Now let's see another possibility using the part workbench. Go to Workbench selector and click here and select Part Workbench, this option. Okay, and now to save time, what you can do is to just create a copy of the sketch that you used to create this result, and then revolve that sketch using a tool of Part Workbench. So go to this first operation, click on this arrow and select the sketch here, and next Ctrl+C to create a copy. Click on this button, use original selections, and next Ctrl+V to paste the sketch on the document. And now just close this body. Now select this sketch here and make it visible by pressing spacebar. And also hide this body object here, spacebar. And as you can see, we have here this sketch here. Now to create a result using this sketch here, we'll use the Revolve tool of Part Workbench. Just select the sketch first and then go to Revolve tool, this tool here. Click on this tool, and as you can see, the Revolve task panel of Part Workbench is more complex than the Revolve task panel of PartDesign Workbench. Okay, here we need to set the revolution axis. As you can see, the current revolution duration is the z-axis. We have one here. Okay, so we go to the duration x and we set 1 here, and here we set 0, and next we click OK. And we have this. Select the revolve operation, this one here, and go to data. And next scroll down to angle and change here to 207 degrees. Just go to the document, and as you can see, the duration is wrong. To fix this, we go to the revolve operation again, and now we go to 8 minus here on this angle. We set minus 207 degrees. Just go to the document, and we have this. As you can see, we designed the same model using different workbenches. We used the main 3D modeling workbench, the PartDesign workbench, and then we used the part workbench to design the same model. If you find this video useful, please don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and share this video with your friends. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description of this video to the Ko-fi page